This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Friday, May 14th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Brandon. How we feeling?
Good. We were just saying just before we came on air that you and I did a switcheroony today.
We sure did.
We need to explain why.
Well, Kiri, I just went rogue. I just went rogue, and I just was like, you know what? I'm wearing black on black.
I'm like, who's Jeff burying later on?
Black and black, and then today you've switched and like you've got a bit of pink.
I put a little pop of color.
Pink. I've gone full pink, but also to say that you've put this together, you put the pink in, which is what I'm wearing. He's got the blue in, which Brandon's wearing. Was that on purpose
No,
or
it's
pure
just
fluke?
Telepathy. That's the right word. All right.
There we go.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Lovely.
Well, they've set the date. The highly anticipated Friends reunion will now air on May 27th. HBO Max released the first look at the special, which features the backs of all 6 cast members
Oh, what a
walking away
tease.
from the camera. Stephanie, get a good look. The special had been delayed multiple times because of the pandemic, but the cast members were finally able to reunite on the show's original soundstage on the Warner Brothers lot. We also know who was invited to the party. The guest list includes David Beckham, Justin Bieber, K-pop group BTS, Lady Gaga, and Malala Yousafzai, just to name a few. So that means they're going to be involved in this reunion. They're actually going to be members of the cast reunion.
Okay, we all know I don't like Friends.
We don't all know. Tell everybody why you don't like Friends.
It's the most boring thing.
Yep.
It's like, doesn't matter if you've seen one episode, every episode, nothing ever changes.
Nothing.
It went on for far too long. Anyway, you're going to be surprised. I am going to tune in and I am going to watch.
What?
Not because
Why?
I'm bothered
Why,
about
though?
Friends. I am not, let's just
What's
be clear.
piquing your curiosity?
The fact that it's full well 73 Productions have made it. They're badass. They made the Grammys, loved how they reinvented that this year, thought it was exceptional. Look at the guests they're bringing on, David Beckham, of course, because they're all English. So that's why I'm going to tune in. Support GB.
Who watches for a
Great Britain
production
about to
company?
step in to make this monstrosity good. And that's what's going to happen. I bet it's going to be wonderful.
Wow.
That's what you said at your desk and just typed up, like, those were the notes that you're watching for a production company?
And for
I'm
her
watching for the
countrymen.
production. I'm watching for the quality that they're going to bring, because they're going to step it up a notch, because Friends is dull and Ben Winston is fantastic.
It needed a little splash of UK, is what she's saying.
All right, all right. But that, but the guest list, is this supposed to be like courtside for a TV show? Like, you know how like courtside, you get courtside seats, it's like a fashion show.
But this isn't going to be a show, I don't think.
It's going to be like the actor
It's like a
studio
reunion.
kind of thing?
It's
Yeah, it's
more
just
of a
gonna be-
reunion.
They're just meeting each other. I wanted it to be more of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you guys ever watched that type of thing, where they all play themselves, but there's some kind of storyline going on. I thought that would
I'm
be a good
telling you,
idea.
it will be good. There's going to be a twist to it. There's going to be something different.
Instead of the coffee shop, maybe it's a tea house.
Oh.
I don't think he's going to go that far.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I would appreciate it, but
Throw some White Claws in there,
Will you
too.
be tuning in, Brandon?
No.
So just a hard no.
No, absolutely not. But I'll have stuff to say on it, the next day.
How you
when
gonna
we
have something to say about it if you don't
Because I'm
tune
gonna be
in?
like, did you see that production company? The way they, like, you see how well the actors were lit? That's all in the production.
no, I'm not talking about the lighting. I'm talking about the concept. You know, like, look at what they did with the Grammys this year in the different rooms. The artists all playing together and everyone getting involved like a party.
We didn't even name one actor that was
Not
on
one.
Friends the whole time. All right, Prince Harry is opening up about his mental health and what it was like for him growing up, royal that is. Harry spoke to Dax Shepard on his Armchair Expert podcast, where he compared royal life to being on the Truman Show or in a zoo. He also talked about how he sought out therapy to deal with the trauma he experienced when his mother, Princess Diana, died, of course, and talked about his upbringing. Have a listen.
When it comes to parenting, if I've experienced some form of pain or suffering because of the pain or suffering that perhaps my father or my parents had suffered, I'm going to make sure that I break that cycle so that I don't pass it on, basically. There's a lot of genetic pain and suffering that gets passed on anyway.
Yeah, and the
We, as parents, we should be doing the most that we can to try and say, you know what, that happened to me, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to you.
Now, Stephanie, you're shaking your head. Do English people think this way about the royals, or do they think they just live a carefree life and what a luxury it is to be royal? Do they think about their mental health and how hard that aspect is?
I think in more recent years, I think obviously Diana was really one of the first people that really spoke out publicly about how she felt and leaving the royal family and her experience of that. And she really was, you know, the British public, well, people around the world loved her, didn't they? And she was one, obviously, the first people people that went and did interviews and opened up a bit more publicly. It wasn't so hush-hush behind closed doors. And I really feel like the Netflix series The Crown really gave people all over the world a better insight, even though it is a TV show and it's exaggerated like reality TV or a drama. But it really gave people a deeper understanding of the sacrifices in which the royal family make to be the royal family. And, you know, not all of it is right. A lot of it's antiquated. And I love Meghan and Harry for breaking that wheel and cycle and coming forwards and changing their lives and how we see the royal family. I think that's an incredible thing. But, you know, I think as well, what's amazing is Harry has always been an advocate for mental health, and good for him for coming forwards and speaking so openly about therapy. In the US, I feel like therapy is a lot more, you know, like going to get a coffee almost. People are a lot more open to it and like accepting of it.
I think that's of more recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in England, it's really not. It's really taboo.
So it's kind of like you swallow your feelings, bury them, don't talk about it. That's kind of the old school.
You don't discuss it. You don't discuss, you know, private matters. You don't, if you're going to therapy in England, the stereotype is more so like there's got to be something like really horrendously wrong, like what's wrong with you kind of vibe. People would probably distance themselves like, oh, I don't want to get involved with that. So I think it's really important that, again, Harry is bringing this to the forefront and standing up. I think it's great.
Hey, I'm cool with that part. Because with this, I guess, what, hour-long podcast or whatever, yes, we're talking about the mental health aspect of it and him coming out, speaking on that. I'm all about it because he's going to help lives, change lives because of that. But when you're breaking away from an organization, you're breaking away from a royalty, him talking about, oh, yeah, I used to smoke weed and, you know, the drugs and all that, someone's going to shut him up when it comes to that. The racism thing, you can't shut him up when it comes to, oh, well, my wife felt like she experienced racism while being a part of this family. But now you're talking about drugs, you're talking about, you know, hidden bones.
Tarnishing,
really tarnishing the legacy and just the overall prestige of the monarchy or the royalty. Someone's going to shut him up when it comes to that.
He's in America now. Maybe that's part of the reason why he got out.
I think everyone knows he's a bit naughty. That's why we love him.
I see it as more relatable, so I like it. I'm on Team Steph on this one. But comedian John Mulaney and actress Olivia Munn are reportedly dating. What's this all about? According to People magazine, the two met at a church in Los Angeles years ago, but have remained friends since. And in a past interview, Olivia talked about how she was obsessed with John after seeing him at a wedding with his wife back in 2013. John and his wife are now reportedly divorcing. He also checked out of a rehab facility in February after a 60-day stay. All right, I know what I'm seeing in the story.
Yeah, go on, tell us. You were going to
here's what I'm seeing. You know, like when your wife or your partner is like, I saw you looking at her, or why do you always bring up her? Or how come she's always there?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. Then you get a divorce. I knew it. I knew it.
Okay. So that's where you're going. So this is like the Portia Williams.
2013. She's been waiting on this breakup for 8 years.
Oh, she's not been waiting.
She said she was obsessed.
Obsessed.
I mean, that's a bit weird.
No, yes, but there are people out there. I want to say women. There are people out there that will like you because you're in a relationship.
Really?
Yes.
You think it was like what you want what you can't have.
You
kind of
want
thing.
what you can't have. You know, she had Aaron Rodgers, Jeopardy guy. You know, now she got this guy. He's a little edgy. He's a comedian. A little
you
funnier.
were a Jeopardy guy instead of MVP.
but you know, so that's why people comment watch so much, because on social media, let's say let's say I take a picture, and if I had a girlfriend, and some girl like put like a couple extra little heart eye emojis or something, and that girlfriend's like, hey, like, who is that person? They know, because years later when y'all break up, that's who's coming. That's who's sliding right in those DMs. But
broken up, why does it matter? I mean, there's always going to be people that find other people attractive, so long as they're not mixing when the vows are on, Stephanie, if that's not your deal.
They've been watching, because that entire time you've been happily married or whatever. They've been watching.
As long as they don't cross over
but they're watching through the plexiglass, wanting you to break up. Ooh. So they can slide in there right after you.
Was that a metaphor, Brandon? Because you were looking like right in her eyes when you said that.
No, we just got plexiglass here. I had to make sure. I didn't want to spit on the glass.
It looks so real.
It's like in mine.
Stephanie didn't get it.
No, she didn't get that.
He was longing for you.
No, he won.
You didn't see it. All right, coming up by DBL, we're catching up with your favorite stars of the 80s, and Leah Thompson tells us the prop she kept from Back to the Future. And which famous rock star inspired Harry Styles' style? Stephanie gives us the deets in Fashion Fix Friday.
Closed captioning provided by...
Across the country, there are visuals like this. People waiting in long lines to fill up at the pump. But there's a lot of misconceptions and straight up misinformation out there. So let's verify 3 fuel facts you need to know. Our sources are Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy and Ken Medlock from the Center for Energy Studies at Rice University. Let's start here. Was this actually a shortage? DeHaan says that despite a lot of confusion saying otherwise, it's actually not.
This issue was a delivery issue. Almost like UPS or FedEx couldn't deliver a package for a few days.
In other words, there's plenty of gas out there, it's just not getting to the consumer. Okay, here's our next question. Why are prices so high right now? AAA says the average price is $3 a gallon nationwide. This time last year, it was $1.85. Our experts say that the gas prices have actually been trending upward since November of last year.
Americans are hitting the road and demand has continued to increase. That is why we're seeing prices go up.
But Medlock tells us that on top of all that, we did see gas prices go up as a result of the pipeline issue.
That 10 to 15 cent move we've seen, depending on where you are, is really the result of the pipeline going down.
Okay, question 3. If you're looking to stock up on gas, how long can you keep it?
The shelf life, 3 to 6 months. It really depends on the time of year, the type of fuel, where you're getting it.
But that assumes that you're using an approved fuel container, which is the safe way to do it. Our experts urge you not to be like the people in these viral videos.
A CVS bag, seriously?
Do not transport gasoline with bottles, milk cartons, or plastic bags.
Do not do that. That is incredibly dangerous.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
I'm Stephanie Jones with the week's top style and trending news. Like, this trend was once considered controversial. Now it's one of this spring's signature styles and my what the fashion moment of the week. And this one's for the fellas. Let's find out more in Fashion Fix Friday. First, they don't call him Harry Styles for nothing. This singer is known for his standout fashion, and it's no secret why. It often blurs the line between the feminine and masculine, and is nothing if not adventurous. But there's another music icon we might have to thank for inspiring Harry's look. None other than Mick Jagger, of course. From poofy outfits to statement blazers, sparkling accessories, ecru hats, and even pinstripes. It looks like Harry might have taken a page out of Mick's book from back in the 70s and taped it up in his closet. Whether we're singing Brown Sugar or Watermelon Sugar, true classics never go out of style. Next, we're visiting a trend that might have had some clutching their pearls a while back, but now we've opened up to it, if you know what I mean. This spring, we're letting it all hang out. Who needs to bother with closed buttons when you can bring your bra to the forefront of your outfit? From crocheted bras to sheer and even sports bras, when paired appropriately with an open cardigan or blazer, it elevates the classic crop top to a whole new level of chic. You can also try it as a little peekaboo sticking out from a sheer top. And for the extra daring, try wearing a bra on top of a blouse. This spring, dare to bear the bra. And finally, Gentlemen, we have some questions about this trend, and you might too. It's my What the Fashion moment of the week. For those of you with an interest in trading in those Levi's you've been wearing for 6 years, check out these wild styles of men's jeans, and they're not in short supply. We've got patterned, decorated, multicolored, textured, patchworked, and pockets. So many pockets. There's even a throwback to the 90s when ultra oversized jeans were a thing. Guys, why were they ever a thing? So, if you want to feel like you've been styled by Willy Wonka, you'll have a leg up on this trend. That's it for your Fashion Fix Friday. I'll see you around next time.
After being criticized for being too cautious, the CDC has done an about-face on face masks. So why the change? Turns out vaccines are that good. Let's connect the dots. Some of the criticism the CDC has faced was it was underselling vaccines by not allowing vaccinated people more freedom. That's because the data we now have on the COVID vaccines show they are extremely effective in preventing severe disease. Experts now have more than just the results of the clinical trials, they have real-world data. One reason the CDC was cautious was because of concerns that even vaccinated people could still spread the disease. But as more shots are going into arms, it looks like that is not common. One real-world study found that Pfizer and Moderna vaccines help prevent transmission, not just symptoms. So now the focus moves from face masks to encouraging everybody to get vaccinated.
Welcome back to DBL. From movies like Some Kind of Wonderful to Back to the Future, Leah Thompson is one of our favorite 80s stars. You may also know her from the popular 90s sitcom Caroline in the City. Earlier, Tori and Al checked in with Leah. That's in our series, Favorite Stars of the 80s.
Leah Thompson, welcome to DBL. Now, you go down in history as one of film's most famous moms because everyone knows Marty McFly's mom. We're talking to her right now, yes. Lorraine, in Back to the Future.
I hope you don't mind, but George asked if he could take me home.
Great, good, Lorraine. I had a feeling about you, too.
So, over the course of the trilogy, do you have a favorite specific part about playing Lorraine? Because she's had some good moments.
Well, it was a great part because I got to play all the different ages and all the different kind of incarnations of Lorraine McFly. So it was a great part in a great movie. So I couldn't be more thankful to be playing the mother of a 17-year-old for 40 years.
That's true. I never thought about that.
My father! Did you get kicked out of another boarding school?
Now, and Back to the Future 2, which I loved, when Lorraine was married to Biff, which I did not love. But is it true you took a very specific souvenir from the set?
Yes, I took my bust. They created a fake bust for me, and I didn't want it to fall into the wrong hands, so I took my latex dress home with me. Never to be used again.
Leah, you could sign that and that could go in the Met. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's history.
Speaking of iconic roles, you got to work with John Hughes in one of my favorites, Some Kind of Wonderful. And people say John Hughes defined a generation, but there's been some criticism here and there for how young women are portrayed in his films. Molly Ringwald even called much of his writing inappropriate. I just wanted your take. You have the floor. What did you think about that?
Well, I think Some Kind of Wonderful Untitled was one of his most sensitive movies.
Yeah.
I don't think he made too many gaffes in that movie, as you would see now. But, you know, as history changes and we all expand our minds and our sensitivities, I think it's important to, you know, put things in context for the time. You know, John was trying to do something, but he was also a comedian in a very kind of insensitive time. Some of his stuff kind of made me cringe when it happened.
Really?
When I watched it, but not some kind of wonderful. I mean, my husband directed it. I met him there, and we've been married for 32 years. So, yay.
That's some kind of wonderful.
There we go. Oh, Tori, you nailed that one.
Nailed it. That's wonderful. Sorry. She's like, please go.
All right. Now, I remember being a little kid and watching this. We have to talk about Howard the Duck.
Howard
yes,
the
we
Duck.
do. It started out as a box office flop and has become an enormous cult classic.
Sometimes I still get this feeling there's some kind of special destiny waiting for me.
Howard, that's it. Maybe that's why you're here.
And even gets a re-release this year to celebrate its 35th anniversary. How has that experience been for you?
You know, the fact that they're releasing it in 4K, whatever that is, means that there's a lot of fans. And I think I was in a special time when you could buy a movie for the first time and hold it and own it and play it a million times. And I think because Howard the Duck was probably on sale, it's sold a lot.
Currently, you and your daughter Zoe, also an actress, have teamed up on a podcast called A Total Switch Show, right? Where you tell the story of a mother and daughter who actually have switched bodies. What's that like when you're doing this with your actual daughter? How is working with Zoe?
Well, Zoe was the producer, so I was super proud that my daughter gave me a job. There's that. And it was also the first thing I did in COVID when we were all still kind of sequestered away. So it was really fun to act at that time and to make people laugh and to kind of create some entertainment, because during COVID, I really realized how important entertainment is, you know? That sometimes I don't think of our job as being important, but it is. And it's great to get people's heads out of whatever they're in that's not so great.
DBL Nation, don't forget to check out Leah's podcast, A Total Switch Show on Audible.
Yes.
Leah Thompson, thank you so much for chatting, and thank you for stopping by. I can't wait to listen. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
People can now sign up to see if they qualify for $50 off their monthly internet through an FCC program. This has raised a lot of questions from viewers wondering how this process works. So we want to verify, does the FCC ask for personal information for its $50 broadband internet credit? With Verify, we show you who our sources are first. We spoke with Patrick Weber. He is the chief of the Consumer and Governmental Affairs Bureau at the Federal Communications Commission. The main question we've received: do I need to provide my social security number? No, you don't need to, but it is an option. You can either provide your social security number, tribal ID number, or one of these forms of identification.
Things that would verify you as the person that you're saying you are, those are things that are required for the program.
Next, do I have to show my tax form? This is true. The FCC needs this for proof of how much income your household makes.
You would have to have an income below $99,000 for a single filer and below $198,000 for joint filers.
Is my credit card number or bank account number required? No, it is not. As long as you provide your tax form, the FCC will not ask for any more financial information.
They'll be able to get all the information they need from you and get you enrolled from their own website.
So we can verify. Yes, the FCC will ask for some personal information, but you will have options in what you provide. To apply, you can visit getemergencybroadband.org.
Welcome back to DBL. If you're trying to get back in shape for summer, here are some exercise tips in DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. First, this is my favorite. Take an ice-cold bath or shower. It helps build resilience and improve your immune response. Second, walk in the mornings and in the evenings. And finally, use steam rooms or saunas. They help you get rid of extra water and sodium and prevent bloating. I love these tips. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Two things from the football days of having to take an ice bath after practices. No, I won't take cold showers. And it's funny because when you're talking about the saunas, it's like, oh, it's good to get rid of the sodium. I'm like, oh, they're great for hangovers as well.
It gets rid of all the toxins in your body.
I'm all in for the steams and the saunas. Cold, icy showers are a no.
Let me tell you something, okay? Don't knock it till you try it. My favorite thing to do, I used to go to a gym in Los Angeles, but now I just take cold showers, sauna and jump in a cold plunge. Afterwards, you're ready to box a kangaroo. I'm not kidding. It feels so good.
I just want to go to work. I don't want to box a kangaroo.
Why not? You want to like go through and like, you don't want to just pick an apple, you want to kick over a whole tray. No, I got crazy. It's Friday. Let's get out of here. DBL's new every day. We'll be back Monday, same time, same place. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you.